Alright everybody, welcome back to another video. Today is Sunday, Zayin Cheshvan, and on Sundays on this channel, instead of reading stories, we read a sefer called Siach Sarfei Kodesh, which is a collection, oral history of Breslov and stories and biographies and a lot of very, very interesting facts about Rabbi Nachman and Rabbi Noson and all the different things in Breslov and all the different people in Breslov. So we've been making videos from the Sefer every Sunday for the last 2-3 months, and we reached like halfway across the Sefer, and now it opens up on a new section about Rav Noson. Before we were talking about Rabbi Nachman, who is the founder of the Breslov movement, and now we are talking about Rav Noson of Breslov, who was Rabbi Nachman's main student, and one of the reasons why we have anything from Rabbi Nachman, he wrote everything down. He wrote all the lessons down, the conversations, the stories, and passed it down, and made sure people were gathering in Uman, and many, many different things. So we're going to start over here, and it's just sayings of Rav Noson's, teachings of Rav Noson's, different things like that. So let's start over here where it says, so they call him Mornat, in Hebrew, Morenu HaRav Noson. That's how they pronounce the thing. It's like an abbreviation, whatever. But we're just going to call him Rav Noson, okay? So Rav Noson said that the Indian, by Hasidim, to drink, whiskey or whatever, like l'chaim's, right? It started that the tzaddikim there were certain students of the Baal Shem Tov who were big tzaddikim, right? That they wanted everyone to gather around and to talk about service of Hashem and everything like that, right? And if you wanted people to come, then you needed to give out a little bit of food, a little drink, a little bit of, a little bit of whiskey, right, to make the hearts closer, right, and to warm everybody up and to, so everybody could start talking, but then after a while, the talking became less and the actual avodah became less, and it was really just more just to get together to actually drink, right, and all the gathering was just about drinking. And therefore, Rav Noson says that Rabbeinu was disgusted by this minhag until he said one time that I'm not able to handle all your different yom tovim shalachem. Like every day they would make another suda and drink for a yard site or whatever it was. Mishum Kain, therefore Rabbi Nachman was machbid that by Breslov Hasidim, right, that they would only have gatherings for service of Hashem, for talking about Hashem and how to serve and everything like that. Basically Hasidish shiurim and everything like that. And only in the days of Rav Nachman Tulchiner, they started giving out tea for the people who came to listen. And Rav Nachman Tulchiner said, "Shuhu minhag toiv ki aydezeh lo yavoyu lidei shichros." They won't come to shichros; they're drinking tea. Fine. He also one time said, Rav Noson, that getting drunk, the only time that a Breslov person should be drunk is on Purim. That's the only time that a person should really get drunk. But Simchas Torah not on Simchas Torah. Okay, he says that a person. I'm just going to continue. There are just like small pieces, so we're just reading through. There's a person that wants to daven with kavana. It doesn't have to be machbid and to go back on each word many, many times, like some people do when they say a word. They didn't have enough kavanah on the word, so they say the same word over and over again, like Baruch, 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 10 times. He says the only thing you need to do is to make an effort to have kavanah of the parish of the milos, just to understand what the word says. Baruch means blessed. So if Baruch means blessed, that's the kavanah that you have, and that's the simple kavanah, and that's what he says to do, and just to go from each word to each word, right? That's the way to do things. Rav Noson said, and even when it's going to be almost sunset, the last sunset of the 6,000th year, because it says that Mashiach is supposed to come by the 6,000th year. What are we now on 5781? So in the year 6,000. So if Mashiach doesn't come, then they say the world's going to end or whatever. I'm not bucky on these things. But Rav Noson says that even if I was there at the last sunset of the year 6000, and after that Mashiach's not going to come anymore, right? And I see that the Mashiach isn't coming, Afal Piken, even so, I'm still going to believe that it's going to come. So that's the level of Emunah that Rav Noson had. Okay. Rav Noson said that Mashin Hagu Yisrael Loimer Slichus Bashmaris Abayker. Sorry, my daughter interrupted the video. Rav Noson said that the Yidden are noig to say Slichus early in the morning, and that's to what's it called? So that they should be able to daven afterwards. Kivasikin. Kolka Chashuva Tfilas Havasikin. Okay, I'm saying people daven early so that they can do Vasikin because Vasikin is early. Okay. Rav Noson says a man needs to be accepting and to agree to the way that his life is going. Right? He has to be masking to it. He has to know that it's good. He has to be samech b'chalkoi. Just like Hashem is being manigim, right? So like he should know that whatever is going on, he should be masking to that Hashem is doing, and then he'll have everything according to his ratzon. If he knows that everything that Hashem is doing is the best, and that's the ratzon that you want, and that's the ratzon that you'll have, and that's the best thing. I think that's what he's saying over here. These pieces are a little confusing. I'm sorry, the beginning pieces, they always put the most confusing ones here a little bit. It says, what does it say? It says Rav Noson says, Sha'odam tzarech lertzois ulahaskim behanhagus chayav, that a person needs to be accepting and to agree with his hanhagus of chayav, that the way his life is going, just like Hashem is being manigim, so then he'll have everything kitzoinai. Okay. If he's happy, then it's his ratzon. So that's it. That's the ikar. It's to be b'simcha. Rav Noson said that I love to daven v'sikin, but not with a lamdin hakasim, not with an angry lamdin. Meaning that somebody who's going to be speeding up his davening because he wants to be mamish makbid bidiyuk on his mananit, like to the exact second. Like Rav Noson is saying, you could be off by a few seconds, off by 30 seconds. You know what I'm saying? But you don't want to be davening with a guy who's going to rush everybody because he wants to be, hardcore. Like to the exact second. Okay, Rav Noson said, the Magid, I guess he's talking about the Magid of Mezrich and his students and their students. They were all tzaddikim. They were all true tzaddikim. Achar kach yesh b'neim eruvei tov ra. But now there is now between them some good and some bad. Okay. Rav Noson said, one time he was talking about that the pagam that happens when a chassan and kala meet before they get married, right? So obviously, back then they would meet once, whatever, and people still do that today, but they probably wouldn't see each other for a very long time, right? But today, it's different avoidance today with dating and everything like that, but Rav Noson was talking about back then about the people meeting a chassan and kala meeting before their marriage and how bad it could be. He said, "Mabul Shamayim Nishba Hakadosh Baruch Hu." Hashem said, "I'll never bring a mabul of water to the world, but a mabul of fire I did not swear by yet." B'zeh shechassan v'kala nifkashim koidim chas nosom tzichim lefachid nisor me'oinish mabul shleish. It's basically saying that chassan and kala meeting before their chassan is dangerous. It could lead to, maybe very bad averas before they get married. There's a lot of taivas and a lot of different things. So he's saying to be very scared of it, like a mabul of fire. Rav Noson said, it's worth it for a person to live. Sorry, I thought he was talking about something. Okay, Rav Noson said that it's worth it for a person to live 70 years in this world with all the sufferings and all the tsaras and everything, even if he doesn't do anything good, rak zeh yimna atzmei mehura ra echad pachus, that if somebody one time, that it's worth it for him to live 70 years, just so that one time in those 70 years he could prevent himself from thinking about one bad thing. One time, that's it, in 70 years. Gam zeh kfar kedai, it's already worth it. Mafter bezeh Rav Avram bar Nachman v'omer, and Rav Avram bar Nachman, who was a big student of Rav Noson and everything, also very, very big tzaddik, he used to finish off in saying this, and also if you do one mitzvah, then it's for sure. So whatever we're doing, it's we're trying the best, and it's very good. And Rav Noson says that the world says that the Sefer Hashla is the Oitzer Shel Hagan Eden Pevarg. I don't know what that means. It's like it's a certain part of Gan Eden. Okay, it's like a certain part of Gan Eden. That's the Sefer Shla. But I say, Rav Noson says that the Sefer, the Kutei Halachos of me that I wrote, is actually the concept of the Gan itself. It is the Garden of Eden itself. I think it's a very, very high sefer to learn. One time Rav Noson praised the sefer Chai Adam, which is a sefer on halacha. And he said that the Mechaber was very exact with his halachas, and it's a very good sefer. And Rav Noson also said that the chidushim of Rav Shimshon Ostropoli breaks my brain. Rav Shimshon's chidushim spalten mir de moich. So he was saying that they're like good, I guess, very good chidushim, and they're intense and deep also. Okay, let me just see what we're up to over here. Yeah, okay. So one time Rav Yitzchak was the son of Rav Noson, right? And he used to write letters to each other. And these letters are actually printed in a sefer called Olim Litrufa, the Healing Leaves. And it's just back and forth letters. There's a few letters from Rabbi Nachman in there. And most of the letters are between Rav Noson and his son his son to Rav Noson, and it just very, very good chizik in Breslov and serving Hashem and being happy. So it says over here that one time Rav Yitzchak sent his father, Rav Noson, a letter. And he was telling him a davar pella, right? That in the city of Tulchin, there was a very, very simple man, a very, very Adam Pashut. His name was Rabbi Nisano, right? That any bracha that he made was miskayim, it definitely happened, right? And he asked Rav Noson about this, like, what do you think about this, right? And Rav Noson wrote back to him, tell me about his hanhagis, tell me what he does, right? What does he do on a daily basis? And he wrote back to him a few of these hanhagis type that he does, whatever, it doesn't say what. And then of course Rav Noson wrote back, no, that still doesn't make any sense. There's no koyach, there shouldn't be that much koyach in this guy's brachas, right? He said, do much more investigation on this, right? And he wrote back to his father that he saw that he's Zoyer Mo'oid in the Kimas Chatzois Laila. And he does every night, he wakes up for Tikkun Chatzois. And then Rav Noson wrote back to him, King, this is the thing that's helping him be Zeichet to giving brachas like this. This is doing the waking up for Tikkun Chatzois every night. So that's what he said. Let's do a few more pieces over here. Amar Mashiach oiti eloi avoda kasha im achsidim. He says that Mashiach is going to have hard work with the chassidim more than with the apikarsim. Because the apikarsim are going to see one nace from Mashiach, and they're going to be nispatul legamri. They're going to be like, all right, this is it, But the chassidim already have seen certain nisim and believe in nisim, so when they see a nace, it's not going to be such a big deal. But what's it called? And Apikoros or an atheist, whatever, with their chachmas and their chakiras, if they see one miracle that makes no sense and it's real and they mamash with their eyes, so then they're going to be mispatel to the Mashiach right away. That's cool. Okay. Rav Noson said, Lama hoya tzadik zeh v'zeh gadol b'ma'ala kol kach. Right, because he had a lot of his chasas. Why is there a certain tzaddik, like this tzaddik is in one, in one mila, and this tzaddik is in different mila? So what's pshat? Like why? He says because the tzaddik that's higher had a lot of his chaskas. He had a lot of just keep on going, strengthening himself and going. And he pointed out a bunch of different tzaddikim that only came to their level because of their his chaskas, their strength and going. And then Rav Noson said, and why am I like I am? Right? Because I also have a lot of his chaskas. So his chaskas is a major component in being a tzaddik and serving Hashem. Alright, this is the last piece for today. We're going to learn one more. One time Rav Noson was staying in the city of Brod with Rav Nachman Tulchiner, and Rav Noson was teaching the Torah in front of everybody over there by a big class, share, whatever. He was teaching the Torah Azamra, Reish Pei Beis, the Nekuda Tova Torah, Nekuda Tovas, and he was saying it like in a very holy way, with a lot of kavanah and a lot of hislavas, right? And Rav Noson heard how Rav Nachman Tulchiner whispered to himself every time that Rav Noson was saying something in the Torah. Rav Noson was saying to himself, yes, this is for sure, it's true, all these things, right? And his kavanah was basically like whatever he learned, that whatever that Rav Noson was teaching them was true, and it was certain, and it was real, and it was this, and then after Rav Noson heard him saying these things to himself while he was teaching this Torah, that he was saying to himself that everything is true and this is what it means and it's good and everything, like he's just saying, yes, this is real. Then Rav Noson turned to him and said, Azoy, Azoy, kach, kach. This is exactly what it should be, the way, Rabbi Nachman. This is talking to Rabbi Nachman Tulchiner. Because the simple way is, right? The simple way is to do pshitis and tmimis, right? He's saying that this Torah is the way to bring people close. He says, because and everything in this Torah is correct, like you said. And he says, Kama anashim kvar kiraftu l'Hashem yisbarach alidei Torah zu. He said there were many people already became close to Hashem through this Torah. He said this Torah, Reish Pei Beis, Torah 282, has a lot of deep advice in there, in this Torah. Now, and through that advice, it's possible to bring a lot of Jews close to their Father in heaven. And that's it. You know what? Let's do one more. One time, Rav Noson said, Im Rabbi Abba loy kibel v'lamad merashbi rak mashikosuv hainu akosuv b'sefer zoyer b'tikunim, right? And that Rav Noson said that if Rabbi Abba was only got from Rashbi the sefer zoyer and the tikunim, right? He's saying, but we got more from Rabbeinu. That's a big trip. In Rabbi Abba loy kiva v'lamed merashbi rak hakosuv b'sefer zoyer b'tikunim, everything that's written in the sefer zoyer, and the tikunim haray nachnu kibanu me Rabbeinu yoser, and we for sure already got from Rabbeinu more. Okay, that's a very intense statement. It's a very interesting statement. But I think he's saying that Rabbi Abba got more at the end, because I think he's saying like, if he only got that, then we got more. But I think that he ended up getting more, because he did get more besides the Sefer Hazar and the Tikkunim. I don't know. I'm not a expert on these things. Not everything in the Sefer is 100% so clear, but that's a very intense thing to say. But Rav said it, so it is what it is. But it's always good just to learn Rabbi Nachman's Torah. That's basically the whole message of Rav Noson, is to learn Rabbi Nachman and to just become close to the Rabbi and to learn all of his eitzes. Everyone should have a great day. See you in a few days for another video.